Stop the madness. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Stop the Madness. I'm your host, The Kid Plot. Of course, I got my co-host with me, Isaac Cotto. We're back in the building. I got my big bro in the building. He's also a firearm specialist / instructor. So this is why we got him on board. Walter is in the building representing what is it? Grimtech? Grimtech. So
yes, sir.
we got him on here because he is a firearm specialist. He knows exactly what firearm we're about to talk about in the event that we're about to mention. So with that being said, kick us off, Cotto.
Yeah, man. So I don't know, I guess within the last hour or two, someone else has been shot and killed by ICE. We knew that was going to happen, but the video just came out, and the video is very different, of course,
dicey.
The narrative that the government kicks out. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play the video. I'm going to let it run its course, and then we'll chop it up, shoot some opinions on this video. All right, here you go. I'm going to play now.
In this angle, you can see how many rounds they fired into the victim. Every single round was fired after the man in gray had already taken the victim's concealed carry weapon. Minneapolis Police Chief O'Hara said that the 37-year-old man was a lawful gun owner, had no criminal history, just one parking ticket. Simply being armed is not a crime. It does not justify being shot by these agents. Even if his conceal and carry was a threat, which it wasn't because it was in his holster at his back, but even if that was justified, the agent in gray took possession of that weapon before any shots were fired. So the justification of killing this man because he was armed goes out the window when your own agent takes possession of that said weapon. And now Stephen Miller is calling this murdered man a domestic terrorist. Please share this video, set the record straight. Americans, we have to wake up. Federal agents are murdering U.S. citizens in the streets, and the federal government is protecting the murderers.
The narration is spectacular.
Dude, it's a tough video to watch, man. I mean,
so
for me, from what I saw, I said call a spade, right? Like, it's okay if ICE fucks up. Like, it's okay to admit it. Like,
so
all right, we fucked up on this one.
Here's my take on that.
The narrative they kicked off the top, domestic terrorist. He was armed. He was this, that.
But none of that's illegal.
You carry conceal every day.
Yeah, none of that is illegal. So here's my thought on that. Now, obviously, there's going to be more information to come. But right now, what I'm seeing right now, a lot of questions come to mind, because my first thought, and this conversation I'm having with other friends. So let's start with the weapon they took from him. So first of all, what I'm seeing is disturbing, even to me.
Okay.
All right, but my question, I have a question. My first question is, the first shot, what and who took that first shot? This is why I asked the question. The weapon they took from him appears to be a SIG P320. So in the gun community, that weapon is known as, that gun has had problems for a while because it's been discharging by itself. Police departments stopped using it. The military stopped because the gun literally shoots while it's in your holster. It'll go off. There's plenty of video. If you surf the net, you'll find videos of officers. There's a very well-known video, one of the more viewed ones, where an officer's in the police station carrying a rolls of papers. So both his hands are occupied up here, drops a roll, bends over to pick it up. And when he bends over, bow, the gun fires off. It's in his holster. So my question now is, at first did the gun accidentally discharge by itself in the tussle? And that's what the other officers reacted to. I'm not sure, because the first shot happened after they took the gun off of him.
Exactly.
So it took that off the table for me. That was a question I had, but then you see the video and the gun is in the other agent's hand already. So then it's, well, did it go off while it was in his hand? I don't know. That's why I said, what and who took that first shot? Because one shot and then return fire. What happened? Because if that's just agents reacting to each other shooting, that's a problem. That's a problem.
Look, I before the shooting even happens, right? I'm not a law enforcement expert. I was an MP for 5 years. I've done some training. Uh, they look highly untrained. They look like dudes is just taking someone down and beating the shit out. From the very beginning, you see one of some lady probably yakking away for the last 2 hours. Lunch, and he's been on a 12-hour shift. He shoves her to the ground. I didn't see her trying to stop him. I didn't see any. She didn't even have distance. She couldn't touch the officer. He came to her, knocks her to the ground. The guy tries to.
Well, that
help
was because
her
she
up.
was in front of his car, doing what they do, block the vehicle so they can't move around. They just jump in front of the cars.
Okay, so he pushes her to the ground. So this guy's trying to get her up. He starts macing both of them, and you see he catches a third person, and the third person's kind of choked over. And okay, you decide to restrain this guy. Zero skill.
Yeah, it don't take that many people.
Try to restrain this guy. There are 6 guys on top of him.
Yeah.
Right? If they see that he's armed, he has a weapon in his back, and this other officer comes around the corner, takes the weapon. I would imagine says, I got his gun. I got his gun.
Something happened because you could hear them yelling gun, gun, gun before it was taken. So the question then is, that was the other question I have. When he took the gun, did he say, did they realize he took the gun the commotion?
If you see a person has a gun in his back and they're face down, there's one officer that's like for his head, and it looks like he's slapping him in the face.
He is punching him in the head. So let me tell you,
they look so unorganized, untrained.
So here's what happens.
And there's 6 guys on top of him.
It don't take 6 guys. I've arrested thousands of people as a bounty hunter. Thousands of people. I've locked up murderers. I've locked up people on gun charges. All of that is true. The reason I ask, did they know he took the gun, is because I was involved in the one arrest that really stays with me is an arrest I did in Harlem many years ago. And there were 3 of us. And I was hands-on with the guy in the bodega. I mean, we were tearing that bodega up. Tearing it. That bodega was getting destroyed. And at one point during the fight, my partner yells out, gun. I at no point saw the gun, but he yelled out gun, at which point I shoved off the guy and drew my gun. And my partner turns around and he's like, no, I got the gun. I'm like, bro, I was about to unload. I didn't realize my partner took the gun because I'm literally in the guy's face fighting him. So I'm not seeing what's happening over here because I'm trying to defend, I'm trying to apprehend him. So I got an arm bar, I got an elbow on his neck, and we're tussling. And my partner's on the other side trying to take control. And what happened afterwards, and my partner said, bro, the guy had the gun right in your stomach. Only reason he didn't fire is because I felt it and grabbed his hand right before he pulled the trigger on you. So if you can picture, I had the guy folded over and I'm holding his right arm in an arm bar. So he's bent over and his head is on this side and his back is right here. His other hand, his gun is pointing right in my stomach and I didn't even feel it. And my partner,
the gun was in front of him.
The gun, my partner was on the other side of him. And the guy had the gun across his belly and I'm standing here, but he's bent over. So the gun was literally on my stomach. He said it was like right there. The guy didn't pull the trigger because he didn't have the right angle yet, because it was kind of in his own like stomach and he hadn't cleared it. And so my partner pushed it. This is my partner describing what he did. When he yanked at it, it was on him and he didn't want to shoot himself. And that's when my partner yanked it out. So it could be that I'm giving them the benefit of the doubt because I went through it. Did they know he took the gun from him? But that still doesn't justify who took the first shot, and who took all the other shots, because there's a lot happening here that I got questions for.
And
So
the gun was on his back.
Yeah.
Can I speak? I've spoken in 11 minutes.
Jump in.
We're 11 minutes and 20 seconds. I haven't said shit. Okay.
Go for it.
So this is what I think happened. I think two ICE agents fired. I think the first shot was one ICE agent, and the other ICE agent doesn't know who shot that was from. And then that's where you hear the finishing blows. Because he heard a shot, and like you said when I spoke to you off camera, Walter, you said it sounds like a shot and then a retaliation shot. So the retaliation shot from ICE, he probably thought that first fire or that first shot was from the person that they had on the ground, but in reality, it was probably another ICE agent, and then he finished them off, because we know it wasn't the guy on the ground, because he took his gun was already taken.
Yeah.
So so what you're saying makes sense. The problem is lack of training in this case, or a huge mistake for you to mistake who fired. Because if you actually made that mistake, hey, I'm sorry to tell you,
there's problems.
If you make a mistake, you still go to jail.
You got to pay for it.
You got to pay for your. If I accidentally kill you, I still go to jail.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it was on purpose or by mistake. Maybe the amount of time I do changes, but I still go to jail.
For sure.
So the only defense that they would have that they can use, but it's not gonna exonerate them, I don't think. But the court of law is the court of law. The only defense that I can think of right off the bat, maybe if I think about it longer and more evidence comes out, I'll think of something else. The only defense that they would have would be something to the effect of, why is he even there injecting himself? But you have the right to protest. What happened before that? Were they following them?
Right? And he has a license.
But in that moment,
he has a carry permit, Walt. So he
didn't
break any laws.
In that moment, what went down there, I can't defend it.
He wasn't breaking laws, bro. No, you screaming at them and talking shit and carrying a weapon, if you have a carry permit, is not against the law.
He didn't do anything against the law, but remember, carrying a firearm while in the process of committing a crime is illegal. But did he commit a crime is the question. I don't think he did. I didn't see anything.
Yelling and talking shit is not committing a crime.
But is interfering with law enforcement a crime?
Listen,
say he was. Just say he was interfering.
That's what he was.
Is turned.
That's why I say he was
in the air.
But that's what I'm saying is, at the beginning of everything, at the start of the event, from the time they pepper sprayed him and tossed him, the interference started before that. Like, can we agree that the protesters, what they've been doing is actually, for lack of a better term, ambushing ICE everywhere they go? Can we say that?
I'm not on the ground.
They show up everywhere they go, surround their cars, block their vehicles, basically ambush them. So we know that's been happening. There's plenty of video on social media. You can see that. But does that justify in that moment? So I'm agreeing with you guys. In that moment, they already took his gun.
Listen, you're talking, Walter, you're talking to two guys, especially me, who support ICE and what they're doing.
Yeah.
However, like Kodo opened up, we gotta call a spade a spade. It doesn't matter what we support. A spade is a fucking spade, whether we like it or not.
But that's why I'm agreeing with y'all. I'm saying the same thing. In that space and time, I'm looking at that space and time. If I eliminate all the fluff in that space and time, I don't know that from what I've seen right now that I can justify shooting that guy.
Because it looks like an execution. You gotta admit.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't understand.
I'm not gonna say execution means like I intend to kill you. Like I want to.
No, execution is the guy's on the floor.
But there's a moment.
Negligence.
There was negligence is a more appropriate term.
Right.
I would roll with that.
And they killed this guy out of pure negligence. Like just negligent.
And I'm gonna say one more thing. It's not. I don't agree that it's training. as much as experience?
I think it could be a mix of both. I mean,
Or
as an observer, I saw zero skill in
yeah,
anything they did.
yeah, because you can't
Zero,
train for that
zero,
situation.
zero skills. And I bet you they're going to say, this officer has 10 years of experience. This officer's been on the force for 5 years. They're
Let,
highly trained. They're
let me
highly
tell you,
skilled. They're
was that
highly
border
this.
tack? Was that border tack or ICE? If it's border tack, then they're skilled. They're actually highly trained. I don't know if that was
I don't
border
know.
tack
But
or ICE.
what was presented, it's as if you're given a class in the shooting range and the gun goes off while you're demonstrating.
Yeah,
Right?
by
Like,
mistake.
you could be highly trained, but you look like you don't know what the hell you're doing if that happens, right?
So,
And those 6 officers on top of that guy did not look like they had a fucking clue.
bro, I don't know why. Like, I'm like, damn, that many dudes. Like, how many people have I arrested in my career? And I needed that many people to take shit. I've taken down really big dudes by myself, pepper spray and punch them in the face.
Someone got to be like, hey, back up. Get
Yeah.
space. Like, we don't need 10 guys.
Then Walter, you're literally saying it for us.
Yeah.
You're saying the
I
same
know.
thing. Clear.
I'm
You
agreeing.
just said that you've arrested people by yourself, maybe one other person.
By myself.
So that means lack of training and experience.
What should have happened? Maybe 2-3 officers engage the suspect.
Mm-hmm.
The other 4 or 5 create a circle to keep people away
and secure a perimeter.
Do the subject.
You have to secure a perimeter and a couple of guys.
And you start protecting because you're gonna have people coming in. Hey. But to have 6, 7 guys there on top of this guy is
6, 7 guys can't get their hands on him. There's too many people to actually touch him.
Right.
And then imagine a gunshot going off, and the other ICE agent doesn't know who shot the gun. So his mindset is, oh shit, gunfire.
And the other thing, the video shows the officer snatched the gun and he's
ran.
Across the street.
He's
like,
gone.
Out of here. He's across the street and he starts hearing gunshots. It's like he's across the street. The other thing is the narrative that the government kicks out right away is bad. Like, why, calling him a domestic terrorist, he was threatening the officers with their weapon. Like, it's like boilerplate language.
Like, here's the thing.
But that's the problem with politics in the world, not just America.
In the world.
Each side is always going to defend their decision. So that's why what you just said, Kodo, the government is coming out making it seem like this guy was a terrorist, right? Okay, cool. If the Democrats were trying to execute a plan, something goes wrong, they're going to do the same shit.
Look,
they're going to defend it the same way.
I think ICE would gain way more credibility if they would have came out and said, look, we saw the video. There's definitely some issues here that we need to investigate. And if there were mistakes made.
But hold on.
We do not know yet.
There's still more information coming out. They might just very well say ICE was wrong there.
We got to wait.
Add tons of credibility if they did.
But I will tell you this. I'm going to tell you guys something.
They're not going to do that.
No, but I'm going to tell you guys something. I mentioned it to you, Jamil, and I said it to you too, Kodo. I wrote it to you. Having done so many jobs with ICE here in Jersey in the past, because I used to do immigration warrants. That was a huge part of my bounty hunter career. The amount of ICE arrests I made is I've arrested thousands of ICE people. All right. I used to take them to Texas. I used to take them to Louisiana. I used to house them in Baltimore. Okay. The local government can stop this right now. All the local government has to do is do what they used to do before Trump became president. See, that you have to remember there's also politics is at play. What Jamil said is true. It's all politics. When pre-Trump, local law enforcement and everywhere in the country cooperated with ICE. ICE didn't have to go out on the street to find anybody. Very few. Very few. Yes, they do. They used to run ops, but very few. So the usual ICE agent, they weren't out on the street doing what you see them doing, because whenever the police encountered someone with an ICE detainer, they would turn them over to ICE. When Trump became president, they stopped doing that. They canceled those agreements and stopped doing it and said, basically, y'all gonna have to come out here and do this shit yourselves. So ICE is not trained to do that. You're right. They're not trained to work in mass like that. But since you put them in a position where it's either do your job, because you're gonna have to come out here and do it. We're not helping you guys. What that does politically for the Democrats is what? You think they don't know this is gonna happen? You got the media blowing it up and making it seem a certain way. Local government saying, hey, and politicians, oh, they're picking up immigrants. They've always picked up immigrants. It's just that they've never had to come out and do it. The local police did it, and it was done in an orderly fashion. So you never saw this. That's why it doesn't happen. Like, why is it not happening in Florida or in Texas or in other red states? Because they cooperate with ICE, so they don't need to be out there. That's the problem.
I wish we recorded a video. I wish, and we said kind of the same thing. I wish we would get the background of why they're 20 and 30 deep walking through the street. That's the problem, right?
That's a problem.
If you're going to go and track immigrant X in his house, well, you send 5 officers to this house. But all I see is like 10, 20, 30 ICE agents walking down the street.
Yeah, they have to. I'll tell you why. This is why. I can tell you, I can answer that question easy. You have 5 that are executing the arrest, and the other 20 are protecting those 5. That's all it is. That's all it is.
There's 5 executing. So as they're walking down the street,
So as they are, if you got 5 agents that are actually doing the raid or whatever, the others are a protection force so that their car doesn't get stolen or towed. We already know that happened. They went to do an arrest. I believe it was right there in Minneapolis. Mm-hmm. And while they were doing a raid, some dude stole their vehicle. Okay. Yeah, that shit. And then went to court and they let him off the hook. They exonerated. They said, "Oh no, he didn't do anything illegal." Like, okay, cool. Mm-hmm. So you put them in a position where, okay, cool. Now we have to bring more people out to protect our equipment while we're doing our job. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean,
it's a shit show.
You're still responsible for that trigger. I mean,
yeah. That's why in that moment in time, right there, that's a problem to me.
You got to know your field up where you're operating at. You got to understand the environment, and you got to have trigger discipline if you're going to be in that environment.
Before we close out, because I know we're about to finish. Before we close out, I want to say this. Like I was telling Walter off camera, and Kodo, you didn't get a chance to hear this. What happens is you got to remember everybody's still human, right? We're all human beings first. And even though ICE agents are federal agents, right? They work for the government. When you start to see guys in the ICE agents that work for the government get away with retaliation and then killing somebody for blocking them, trying to run them over. Like it looks almost, it visibly looks like, yo, they kill somebody and there's always a reason for them to be justified, right? Okay, cool. But just like the police, what do they got now? They got body cams. The police try to avoid at all costs pulling that trigger. Why? Because they know this needs to be undeniably justified if I pull this trigger and kill this person.
Sure. Yep.
Because ICE hasn't had to deal with that yet. No. So in my opinion, this is the one time where this guy is going to go to jail. Whoever the fuck was that pulled the trigger. And every other ICE agent after this situation here, is going to say firearm use, lethal force will be the absolute last resort. I'm going to use rubber bullets. I'm going to use pepper spray. I'm going to use taser. I'm going to use like the police do, before I use bullets. And unless this dude shoots at me or he's resisting arrest and he's almost grabbing my gun, unless something like that happens. But you have to, because what has happened is a lot of these ICE agents have been able to kill people, and that's fine. It's justified until it's not justified. Mm-hmm. And once it's not justified and it's legally proven that it's not justified, those ICE agents are going to say, wait a minute, I ain't trying to have this type of drama. I'm going to make sure that before I pull the trigger, that this is a legit thing. This video right here was an indication of, let me see how far I can go with this shit.
Yeah, I think that that's why I've been waiting. I said I have questions because I'm waiting for more info. So what I've seen so far, I don't like, and it's hard to justify based off of that. But there's so many other there's things that
the reason why you don't like it is because everything you've seen in slow motion and in real time, it looks fucking nasty. And what happens is those ICE agents in their mind, even if it's just one person out of the hundreds or thousands of ICE agents that exist, even if it's one or two guys, their mindset is, I got President Trump on my side.
Yeah. Yeah, it's created a culture where their hands are loose. Like they'll put hands on
until they see one of their own.
Yes, for sure.
And they're gonna say, wait a minute, he's on my side, but I still gotta make a smart decision because even he can't protect me from this one.
But I'll tell you, what I would love to see?
We'll see.
You know what I would love to see before we let this go?
2 weeks is gonna be interesting.
You know what I would love to see? You see how the protesters are out there jumping in front of ICE and doing all that stuff? They should have counter protesters jump in front of them and let them bang out.
I mean,
ICE don't even got to get involved. Yeah, let everyone else go out and just let us bang it out.
I ain't got the energy for that, but I'm sure I ain't got the energy for that.
I don't either. I'm sure there's people out there to do.
It looks very sloppy. Whatever they're doing, like, it looks sloppy.
Because to a certain extent, I'll tell you this, Kodo, to a certain extent, when I watch it, now obviously I'm a bounty hunter, I'm not an ICE agent. As a bounty hunter, on many occasions, I had situations like that where even in my last arrest in the Bronx about 4 years ago, I was snatching a dude up out of a bodega, bro, and all of a sudden a crowd out of nowhere, he can't breathe. Look, I had to get up and start fucking people up just because they were getting in my way. And the dude wound up getting away from me. I had to fuck everyone else up to make it out of there. Me and my partner swinging and pepper spraying people, and the dude got away from me. So when I see crowds doing shit like that, it pisses me off because I'm like, yo, if I was that ICE agent and I had that much backup, I'd be fucking people up, including the prison.
I don't see any ICE agents with any crowd control equipment. I don't see no shields. Hey, there's a crowd. Bring another 50 officers with shields.
But that's things you don't know. They just show up.
Create the space that you need. Execute whatever you're going to do. But right now, it looks very sloppy. So we'll see what's going to happen in the next 2 weeks.
We'll see it. Interesting.
Yes,
great conversation.
All right, guys. We'll wrap it up with there. It was hot topic. Just happened. Hot off the press. Let us know what y'all think, and we'll see y'all soon. Peace.
Later.
Peace.
Peace.